Fan, hold on tight, because Newcastle are making headlines again. Today's top story involves a massive response. Jamie Carragher has completely lost his patience and gone in hard on Bayern Munich for disrespecting our new striker, Nick Woltemade. And trust me, he didn't hold back. But before we dive into this fiery clash that's got everyone talking across Europe, there are two big updates, one about Sven Botman, who's finally back to his best, and another about Bruno Guimaraes, who's explained that bizarre celebration that went viral. I'm Rodrigo, and you're watching Newcastle Mania, the channel made by fans, for fans, who live and breathe Newcastle United. You blinked, and suddenly Newcastle are in every headline out there. But before we jump into the three biggest stories of the day, here's a quick reminder. If you love Newcastle and want to stay on top of everything happening with our club, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. It costs nothing, helps us a lot, and really strengthens this amazing black and white community that's growing every single day. News 1. Botman is back to his best. To kick things off, let's talk about a true giant in our defense. Yes, fan, Sven Botman is back, and this time it looks serious. After months battling knee pain, inconsistency, and doubts about his fitness, the Dutchman has finally rediscovered his best form, the same one that made Newcastle fans fall in love with him when he first arrived as our defensive commander. In the last 5 matches, Botman has started every single one and reminded everyone exactly why he's so special. Incredible strength, sharp reading of the game, ice-cold composure when passing out from the back, and a commanding presence that gives the whole team confidence. He's not just any defender, he's the one who makes everyone around him better. When he's on the pitch, Newcastle look different, calmer, stronger, more like us. And Eddie Howe couldn't have said it better. The boss went straight to the point. There aren't many defenders in world football I'd swap for Botman when he's at his best. Strong words, right? But fully deserved. Howe even called him a mountain of a man, and honestly, that's the perfect nickname. When Botman steps onto the pitch, nobody gets past him easily. He's a wall, but a wall that can also play, something the team really missed during his absence. There's also something else that's catching attention, his partnership with Malik Thiaw, the £35 million signing who's settling in quickly. Howe said he's really pleased with the pair, explaining how well they complement each other. Botman is the anchor, strong, calm, and smart. Thiaw brings youth, energy, and pace. Together, they've got the makings of a rock-solid duo. Of course, competition for places is still fierce. Fabian Schär, Dan Burn, Jamal Lascelles, and even Emil Croft are still fighting for their spots. But right now, it's clear that Botman is the foundation of this defense, the key piece Howe trusts to hold it all together. And the best part? He's fit again, full of confidence, and hungry to prove he's one of the top centre-backs in the Premier League. And let's be honest, for a club aiming to fight for a Champions League spot again, having a fully fit Botman is like signing a world-class player all over again. He's the rock at the back, the quiet leader who keeps everything steady. So go ahead and celebrate, Newcastle fans. Sven Botman is back to being the monster we've all missed. And if he keeps playing like this, no striker in England will want to face him anytime soon. News 2, Bruno Guimaraes and the mysterious celebration, extended and engaging version. Right then, Toon Army, you definitely saw that weird celebration, didn't you? Bruno Guimaraes scores, sits down on the pitch, starts making those strange hand gestures and, boom, the internet absolutely explodes. Everyone's talking, trying to figure out what on earth it means. Some thought it was a provocation, others believed it was some kind of secret message, but no one really knew what Bruno was trying to say. Well, now we do, because Bruno himself has finally cleared it all up. In an interview with the Chronicle Live, he revealed the truth, and it completely surprised everyone. Turns out, it had nothing to do with trolling, superstition, or anything like that. It was simply a tribute to his friends from a card game group. That's right, a group of mates who play cards together. Bruno said, "I play a lot of cards. That celebration was a special one for my friends. I hope they liked it." Classic Bruno, isn't it? Genuine, funny, and so spontaneous, the exact kind of thing that makes fans love him even more. But what made that moment even more special was the timing of the goal. It came at a crucial point, his second of the season, and it helped Newcastle secure back-to-back wins for the first time in this campaign. And he himself made sure to highlight that achievement with pride. We've talked a lot about consistency, and now we've done it. And that's the thing about Bruno. He's not just the engine in the middle of the pitch, he's also one of the biggest voices inside the dressing room. When he talks about focus, consistency, and hard work, everyone listens. He's that kind of player who lifts others around him, and you can see it clearly in the way the team performs. But the rhythm doesn't stop there. Right after the match came another bit of news. Both Bruno and Joelinton are off traveling again, this time all the way to the Far East to represent Brazil. South Korea, Japan, another marathon of flights, time zones, and international duties. It's exhausting stuff, and Bruno admitted that he needs to stay in top shape, both physically and mentally, to keep up with the pace. I have to keep my energy high, eat well, sleep well, and deal with the jet lag. The most important thing is to stay fit. Even manager Eddie Howe chimed in with his trademark British humor, joking, "Thank goodness I'm not going with them." But then, he immediately followed that with genuine praise for the two Brazilians. Even after traveling halfway across the world, they come back full of passion for the club. They love being here, and that's what I admire the most. And that's exactly what makes Bruno and Joelinton so special for this team. Despite the long flights, time changes, and endless commitments, they always return fired up, focused, and ready to give everything once again in black and white. They are warriors, true symbols of what Newcastle United stands for: fight, effort, and pure love for the badge. In the end, that little celebration might have been just a fun gesture between friends, but the real message behind it was clear. Bruno Guimaraes is completely in tune with this team, this club, and this fan base. He's the heartbeat of the midfield, the guy who controls the tempo, lifts the morale, and inspires everyone around him. And one thing's for sure, if he keeps playing with that same passion, joy, and touch of magic, we're going to see plenty more of those unique celebrations and loads more crucial goals from our Brazilian magician. Would you like me to adapt this version to sound even more like a YouTube narrator, with natural pauses, rhythm and emotion for voiceover delivery? News 3. Carragher explodes at Bayern, the main story of the day. Alright, Magpies, hold on tight, because this is the hottest part of the video. This story is setting European football on fire. Jamie Carragher, yes, that Carragher, Liverpool legend and one of the most respected voices on Sky Sports, completely lost it with Bayern Munich after a shocking provocation against our striker, Nick Woltemade. It all started when Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, one of the biggest names in Bayern's history, decided to open his mouth and say something ridiculous. He called Newcastle idiots for paying £69 million for Woltemade. Can you believe that? A man of his status, from such a historic club, calling Newcastle idiots, and worse, disrespecting a fellow German. That was all Carragher needed to explode live on Sky Sports. He didn't hold back for a second. That's a joke. It's disrespectful. He shouldn't talk about another player like that, especially someone from his own country. Bayern are a massive club, and this kind of arrogance is just embarrassing. But Carragher wasn't done. Furious, he dropped the strongest line of the night. You know what I hope? I hope Woltemade shoves those words right back down his throat. And guess what, Magpies? That's exactly what our number 9 is doing. Woltemade is silencing everyone, with goals, with attitude, and with pure football. He's scored in all 3 of his first home games in the Premier League, something only 2 legends had done before him, Alan Shearer and Les Ferdinand. 3 matches, 3 goals, 3 St. James Park explosions. That's the kind of start that writes history. And the contrast couldn't be clearer. While Bayern are struggling to find goals in the Bundesliga and still searching for proper striker, Newcastle have a German leading the line and making history in the toughest league in the world. It's the classic case of talking too much and ending up eating your own words. Woltemade, who arrived surrounded by criticism and doubt, is now showing exactly what he's worth. Power, technique, tactical awareness, and an unbelievable eye for goal. Eddie Howe himself said the lad has the mentality of a veteran, and that explains everything. He didn't crumble under pressure, he turned all that criticism into motivation. Meanwhile, Rummenigge is now trying to walk back his comments, claiming Bayern couldn't afford to overspend on a promising player. But the truth is simple, Newcastle made the right investment at the right time. Today, Woltemade is one of the most talked about strikers in the Premier League, and already a fan favourite at St. James Park. Carragher wrapped up his rant with a line that sums up how everyone's feeling. I'm not even a Newcastle fan, but I found that disgusting. Bayern are a huge club, they don't need that kind of arrogance. And honestly, it looks like they are paying the price for their own words. And you know what? He's absolutely right. The message has been sent loud and clear, Newcastle are not the kind of club that big European teams can mock anymore. Those days are over. Woltemade is answering the critics in the best way possible, through goals, passion, and attitude. That's what defines the spirit of the Magpies. Because here at Newcastle, we don't talk back with words, we respond with effort, with grit, and with results. And if he keeps going like this, it won't be long before Woltemade's name is spoken in the same breath as the greats Shearer, Ferdinand, and now, maybe, Woltemade. As for those who called Newcastle idiots, well, looks like the real mistake was Bayern letting this lad slip through their fingers. This whole story makes one thing crystal clear: Newcastle United are no longer the club that used to be underestimated. We've earned our respect, and some of the biggest names in Europe aren't too happy about it. Woltemade is silencing critics, Bruno's shining, Botman's back to his rock-solid best, the project is alive, and the respect is being built with sweat and football. So now I want to hear from you. What did you think of Carragher's reaction? Do you think Woltemade will keep proving everyone wrong and become the next Premier League star? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I love reading what our fans have to say. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. I'm Rodrigo, this is Newcastle Mania, and here, just like our club, we never stop.